Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Last 5 days of Kartik is called as Bhīṣma Panchak. And these 5 days, devotees intensify their devotional service. They chant more number of rounds. And there's a lot of fasting also. Some devotees fast for all 5 days. Nirjal. Some devotees will take one level lower than that. Some devotees will just live on roots and fruits. And that to those fruits which does not have many seeds. That specification is also given. And then there are some devotees who will just take havishya, which some specific rice item that is there, cooked in a very, very simple way. Havishanna it is called as. So in this way, devotees, they reduce their eating. And by reducing their eating, what they do is they intensify their devotional service. So in this way, we see that how, when it comes to devotees, ideally you have to do bhakti entire year, 365 days. So Lord is very merciful. He said, okay, you cannot do 365 days, at least 1 month you intensify. And in 1 month also, when we take some vrata, so what happens is sometimes the vrata is broken here and there. So the devotees are given one more opportunity. Last 5 days, intensify your devotional service. And these 5 days are called as Bhīṣma Panchak. So Bhīṣmadeva did this Bhīṣma Panchak vrata. So there's always a doubt that people have. So is it that after doing Bhīṣma Panchak vrata, Bhīṣmadeva left his body? It's actually not the case, because Bhīṣmadeva left his body on the day of Uttarayan, Sankranti. So this vrata, that Bhīṣma Panchak vrata that is there, Bhīṣmadeva did in his lifetime. Sometime, some day, some year in his lifetime, he did this Bhīṣma Panchak vrata. And it's very, very potent. Many, many devotees in ISKCON, they do this vrata very intensely. And it's glorious also. Why? Because one of the 12 Mahajans, that is Bhīṣmadeva, has done it, and he's showing us the path to get closer to the Lord. Therefore, many devotees, they give their best during these 5 days. And we should try our best to dip ourselves, get absorbed in Krishna consciousness by chanting more number of rounds, by singing more bhajans of Shri Shri Radha and Krishna, by offering ghee lamp, which we have been doing, but we do it with more feelings and devotion towards the Lord. We offer tulasi leaves to the Lord, and various other things like reading Srimad Bhagavatam, serving Vaishnavas, etc. And since it's Bhīṣma Panchak, the 5 days of Bhīṣmadev's vrata, it is also very, very beneficial if we can hear about Bhīṣmadeva and sing his glories by repeating his prayers that Bhīṣmadeva has sung in glorification of Krishna. So that's what we'll try to do. So we'll try to glorify Bhīṣmadeva, and also we will try to describe and glorify Bhīṣmadeva's glorification to Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa. Very, very wonderful devotee, Bhīṣmadeva. Krishna is always Teda, you see. He's such a great devotee, but by Krishna's will, he was on the other side in Mahabharat or Kurukshetra Yuddha. Whatever Krishna decides, that has to happen. Krishna wants to enjoy Veera Rasa or Veerya Rasa. And who can give a tough fight for that? Bhīṣmadeva on the other side. The Bhīṣmadeva was on the other side. Being on the side of the enemy, Bhīṣmadeva was giving pleasure to Krishna. In the course of these different verses, now we will see that how Bhīṣmadeva would give pleasure to Krishna by shooting arrows to him at his body. And Krishna's body is wounded by Bhīṣmadeva's arrows, and Krishna is feeling very nice. So during the Kurukshetra battle, Arjuna, he shot arrows at Bhīṣmadeva. And Bhīṣmadeva was actually lying on the bed of arrows at one point of time. Now he has got Ichha Mrityu. He'll not die. So his head was hanging. So you can just imagine there's a bed and there's nothing beyond that. So your head is hanging. Just imagine like that. It's a bed of arrows and there's nothing. So Duryodhana and others were trying to get some pillows, to put. But then you need a lot of pillows. But then Bhīṣmadeva was not agreeing for pillows. He wanted something else. And the great stalwart, the great archer, Dhananjaya, Maharathi, Arjun, he understood what my grandfather wants. And you know what Arjun did? He shot 3 arrows at the head of Bhīṣmadeva, which pierced his head and became the pillow of Bhīṣmadeva. If the bed is made up of arrows, then pillow has to be also made up of arrows. And Bhīṣmadeva wanted this. Arjuna understood and then he implemented that. Now this is the situation in which Bhīṣmadeva is lying on the ground. Now Bhīṣmadeva is waiting. He is waiting for Uttarayan to come. Now we are not talking about Makara Sankranti. He was waiting for Uttara Ayana. Ayan means to take shelter. Whose shelter? Uttara shelter. Who took Uttara shelter? Parikshit and Krishna. Because Parikshit was there in the womb, and when Ashwathama he shot the Brahmastra, Krishna entered the womb of Uttara to save Parikshit. So he took shelter of Uttara. So this Uttarayan Bhīṣmadeva was waiting for. Because I always had this question, why a pure devotee has to wait for Uttarayan? That is meant for yogis, not for pure devotees, not for Mahajans for sure. So I got this very convincing answer. He was not waiting for that Uttarayan, but he was waiting for this Uttarayan, Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa. And as soon as Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa came, now Bhīṣmadeva was ready to leave his body. It's a very, very wonderful scene that you can imagine. Bhīṣmadeva is lying on the bed of arrows. And just before coming to this place, Yudhishthir, after the entire battle, he was so morose. And he was thinking, I am the cause of this entire battle. So many people died because of me. So when he was thinking like that, and he was sharing his heart with Krishna, you know what Krishna did? He recited the entire Bhagavad Gita for Yudhishthir. But guess what? It didn't work. For Yudhishthir's brother Arjun, it worked. For Yudhishthir, it's not working. And you know why it's not working? Prabhupada writes in the purport. Because Krishna did not want that to work. So Krishna is speaking, but Krishna does not want that to work. Why? Because Krishna wanted Yudhishthir to go and get teachings from Bhīṣmadeva. And when Bhīṣmadeva gives him the wisdom, at that time he should be satisfied. This is all Krishna's plan. Bahar says he is doing one Leela, and Andar say another Leela. And only Acharyas can understand what Leela Krishna is doing. So Yudhishthira Maharaj comes there with Krishna. Yudhishthira Maharaj is in tears. And he is asking various questions to Bhīṣmadeva. And in Mahabharata, those questions and answers are given. And Bhīṣmadeva elaborately answers. And he talks about various dharmas of various people in different circumstances. And Yudhishthira Maharaj is very satisfied. After speaking all that, Bhīṣmadeva, he pulls his entire consciousness back from various topics. And he just fixes his entire consciousness, his entire existence, his entire vision just on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa. He fixes his mind on that, fixes the mind on the Lord. A very nice description, very nice shloka, now which talks about this. That Krishna is looking at Bhīṣmadeva, glancing at Bhīṣmadeva. And what is Bhīṣmadeva doing? Bhīṣmadeva is also looking at the Lord. So this way, Bhīṣmadeva is looking at the Lord and Lord is looking at Bhīṣmadeva. And a very, very beautiful description that comes. That when Krishna glances on someone,
whatever pain the person has, that will go away. Arrows were not removed. Those 3 arrows in the head and the entire arrows, which are there as the bed, nothing was changed. Nothing was changed. But still, Krishna's glance is so powerful, so very powerful, that just by the glance, Krishna could make him pain-free, full relief. Therefore, whenever I come in front of the Lord, I always make this point in various classes, that obviously we come to take darshan of the Lord, but as of now, at this particular point of time, when we're in a baddha state with anarthas, maybe we cannot take darshan of the Lord the way it is expected in the Shastra. Maybe we might not get the darshan, but Lord is glancing on us. I don't know if I can say this. And Lord is taking darshan of us. And when He does that, what is happening? He makes us pain-free. And what is the pain that a sadhaka has? The pain of a sadhaka is the anarthas which are there in his heart. This is the pain of the sadhaka.
And this Krishna can remove. Only personality who can remove all the anarthas and award us the bliss, Krishna. No one else. No one else can do that. And here we see when Bhīṣmadeva, when he was there in front of Krishna, Krishna glanced at him and Bhīṣmadeva became pain-free. He was just looking at Krishna, taking darshan of Krishna. Here the word, especially, there's a word called ashubha or inauspiciousness. Just one shloka before this. There's a word called ashubha, means inauspiciousness. What was that inauspiciousness all about? The inauspiciousness was the distraction that was there, for Bhīṣmadeva. So when Krishna was looking at him and he was looking at Krishna, all that inauspiciousness was removed, the distractions were removed completely. So in this way, Bhīṣmadeva had this very, very wonderful darshan of Krishna. And when he was getting that darshan of the Lord, then he started reciting beautiful prayers. And these prayers can be the meditation for Bhīṣma Panchak. There are around 11 of them. And each one of them is a gem. You can dive deep and discuss a lot about these verses. But we'll see how much we can do. So 2 verses, we'll try to discuss now. So we'll recite the shloka. śrī-bhīṣma uvāca iti matir upakalpitā vitṛṣṇā bhagavati sātvata-puṅgave vibhūmni sva-sukham upagate kvacid vihartuṁ prakṛtim upeyuṣi yad-bhava-pravāhaḥ. So Bhīṣma uvāca, Bhīṣmadeva is glorifying, he is speaking. Now it's very nice. There's so many personalities who have come to see Bhīṣmadeva. Because everyone knows he is a great Mahajan, he is going to leave the body now, and the last words of this great Mahajan is going to benefit us for sure. So many sages from all around the world, they came to that place. Krishna has come to that place. But Bhīṣmadeva is not able to offer any gift to Krishna. If it would have been there in his normal state, maybe he would have washed Krishna's feet. Or if not that, because he is grandfather, he cannot do that. Maybe some garland, maybe some gift, or something like that. But now Bhīṣmadeva cannot do that. So Bhīṣmadeva, looking at Krishna, he wants to offer a gift to the Lord. And then he says, this is the only thing that I can offer to you, Lord. And what is that? Iti mati. Oh Lord, I can offer you my mati, my mind, my intelligence. Iti mati. I can offer you only this. And very beautifully it is described that Bhīṣmadeva is offering his mind. And there's a word called upakalpitā. Upakalpitā, this word also means marriage. So Bhīṣmadeva is saying that, oh Lord, you have come here. I'll give my kanya in marriage to you. And who is that kanya? My mati. So very, very nicely, Bhīṣmadeva is glorifying and he's saying, I'll give this to you. I'll give this to you. Now the question is, how is your mati, Bhīṣmadev? How is your mati? He is saying, vitṛṣṇā. Oh Lord, now my mati is free from all the desires. All the material desires which are there, it's all gone. Now it's a very nice thing to note that the real devotional service or pure devotional service begins when a devotee does not have any other abhilasha. Anyabhilashita shunyam. So it's very, very important to note that as of now, whatever service we are rendering, obviously it is contaminated by our own arathas and vasanas and other things. But there is a time when a devotee comes to a level where he gets purified completely or to a very great extent. And then when he serves the Lord, that is pure devotional service. Therefore, every devotee should aspire to become a pure devotee, because this service as a pure devotee is something that pleases the Lord, because that service that we are offering is free from all the contamination. So when we are asked, so what is your desire? And we should have this in our heart, I want to become the pure devotee of Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa. And all our acharyas, they'll be very much pleased by this. If we become pure devotees, they will be very, very happy, because we are their project. And once we become pure devotees, they are very happy, my project is successful. Therefore, it's very important that every devotee desires to become a pure devotee. And Rupa Goswami gives a definition of pure devotional service. Anyabhilashita shunyam. All the other desires should be zero. Basically, he's talking about the material desires, be it karma desires or be it jnana desires which are there, or siddhi desires. All that should be zero. And one should have only one thing in the heart, I want to serve the Lord. And here we see that Bhīṣmadeva, he has got nothing else in his mind now. He just wants to serve Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa. And with that, he's offering his mati and he's saying, vitṛṣṇā. I don't have any desire, any material desire. And also, at this point of time, my mati will not get distracted anywhere. It's just focused on you, O Lord. See, this is the way one has to give up the body. Art of dying is what Bhīṣmadeva is teaching. So, when someone is focusing, or when Bhīṣmadeva is focusing, and he's telling us, what are we supposed to do at the time of death? So, you have to come to the stage of vitṛṣṇā. It's very easy to say that, okay, I'll chant Hare Krishna while dying. That is not enough. We have to do this. Iti matir upakalpitā vitṛṣṇā. At the time of death, we are supposed to give our mati to Krishna. And that mati should be vitṛṣṇā. It should be free from material desires. And only desire that will be there in the heart, or should be there in the heart of a devotee is, oh Lord, I want to serve you. That's it. Such a devotee will have a great destination. He'll attain a great destination. Now, suppose there's a question that Krishna is asking, whom are you offering this mati to? Maybe you're offering mati to Narayan. Looking at me, maybe you want to offer your mati to Narayan. At that time, Bhīṣmadeva, in the next line he says, bhagavati sātvata-puṅgave vibhūmni. Oh Lord, I want to offer this mati to Bhagavati. That is Bhagavan. And who is Bhagavan? You are Bhagavan, having all the six opulences. And along with that, to make it more clear, Bhīṣmadeva is saying, sātvata-puṅgave. Because Narayana is also called Bhagavan only. All the Vishnu Tattvas, they are also called as Bhagavan only. Yes. But here, to make it very clear, he is adding a point. That I am talking about that personality who is there in front of me, who is the source of all Narayan. And for your information, in Vaikuntha planets, there are many, many Narayans. Yes. Many, many Vishnu Murtis are there. Infinite planets. And in that we have infinite Vishnu Murtis. And here, Bhīṣmadeva is very clear. I am offering my mati. I am giving my kanya in marriage. To whom? To Bhagavati, Bhagavan. And then after that he adds a point. Sātvata-puṅgave. I am offering my heart, offering my mati to Yadupati, the leader of the Yadu dynasty. The best of all the Yadus. Sātvata-puṅgave, the leaders of all the devotees. Now this is what he's talking about. And then he's adding one more point so that all the devotees and not devotees, all the people in general should understand who this personality is. See, when it comes to these great devotees, these great Mahajans, when they're preaching, when they're glorifying the Lord, they just don't stop at the form of the Lord and things like that. They'll establish the tattva. They'll establish how great the Lord is. So he adds the word vibhūmni. Vibhu is great. This point is something that has to go deep in our existence. That Lord is Vibhu and we are Chutku. Yes. We are Anu. Lord is Vibhu and we are Anu. Because only when we realize this, at that time we can surrender to Vibhu. Otherwise not possible. Because as of now our consciousness is, okay, I am also, maybe it's not Vibhu, the U might be missing, but VIBH is there. Maybe the last U is missing. Very pathetic state, that a devotee, his devotee is in always. A very pathetic state. Sadhakas I'm talking about. Therefore, this thing you will see in various prayers of various devotees in Bhagavatam. They'll make this point very clearly that, oh Lord, you are that Vibhu. You are that great personality. And here he is saying that I am offering my mati to whom? Bhagavati, sātvata-puṅgave, vibhūmni. That great, great, great personality. Okay, so is there any other characteristic, any other quality that Bhīṣmadeva you want to highlight about me? If say Krishna is asking that. So Bhīṣmadeva, he says, sva-sukham upagate kvacid vihartuṁ. So sva-sukham upagate. So this is the word that is used. So sva-sukham upagate. See, when it comes to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa, he is self-satisfied. Atmaram. Just imagine if his devotees are Atmaram. Atmaramascha munayo nirgrantya apya urukrame. So Bhagavatam describes those Atmarams, those self-satisfied people, they don't know anything of this world. So if Krishna's devotees, they are Atmaram, just think about it. What will be the position of the Lord then? Completely satisfied. And it's a great, hilarious thing that people go and do business with him. I'll give you 2 laddus. I'll give you 11 laddus. I'll give you 3 incense. I'll give you 2 coconut. He's self-satisfied. He does not want. Now someone might ask, now what Krishna himself is saying, patram pushpam phalam toyam. So Prabhuji, he wants it. No, he does not want. He just wants to purify us. Some transaction will happen, he'll get some opportunity to bless all of us. So Krishna says, patram pushpam phalam toyam, he puts 2 asterisks there. Bhaktya bhaktya. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktya uparitam ashnami prayatatmanah. He says, okay, if you offer with love and devotion, I accept. So what is Lord actually accepting? Lord is accepting the love, the devotion that is there. Therefore, one thing is very clear, that he does not want anything. He does not want anyone. He is self-satisfied. And he has proved this in his own leelas. In the mid of the night, he left lakhs and lakhs of beautiful females. Obviously, they're not ordinary mortal females of this world. Gopis of Sri Vrindavan Dham, he left all of them, he just left. If someone might say, oh, maybe Krishna is lampat, he's woman mongler. No, he's very, very nicely he's proving he does not need anyone. So he left all the gopis and he went with Srimati Radharani. And after that he left Srimati Radharani also. He's Atmaram. He does not want anyone. He's self-satisfied. But then we understand that how Krishna gets pleasure and more pleasure and more pleasure and more pleasure when his devotees serve him and assist him in his leelas. So it is his merciful nature that he accepts our service. Now for sadhakas, he accepts our service and purifies us. And when it comes to pure devotees, he accepts their love and takes the pleasure from that particular service. Therefore we see that when it comes to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, our Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa, he does not want anything. He's Atmaram. No? Therefore this word is very important that is used here. Sva-sukham. So Krishna is always happy and always blissful. with his Chit Shakti. His Chit potency is always blissful. Chit, Sat, Chit, Ananda. So Chit potency is always happy. Ananda potency is always happy. And when it comes to living entities of this world, we see the materialists who are there. You will never find anyone sva-sukham. Swa-frustrated he will be. Sva-sukham is not there. Swa-frustrated. The person will be frustrated with himself. His nasty thought process, people around, troubling him so much. He's frustrated. So there's no question of sva-sukham that is there. You see, each one of us, we depend on things which are outside. Bhaya sukh. Sva-sukh is something which we don't have. Bhaya sukh, everything that is there outside, we think that will give us happiness. Just think about every single day, we want food to eat, water to drink. So in this way, we are completely dependent on basic necessities also for outside things. Just imagine someone says, no, I'm completely satisfied. Okay, now don't eat food. You'll not get water. Lock him in the room. Now remains sva-sukha. Get that sva-sukha. Taste that sva-sukha. Not possible. We are dependent on bhaya sukh. And that is what is a precarious condition of ours. But when the devotee, he goes beyond the three modes of material nature, attains the state of chanting Shuddhanam, at that time he does not want anything. He is completely blissful. This is the state which every devotee should reach. Or else, in the Mumbai language, marte samay vaat lag jayegi. It's going to be very difficult at the time of death. Very difficult. Therefore, this stage, sva-sukha stage, is something that we have to reach. But when it comes to the Lord, we understand that He is always in that state. He does not want anything. He's complete. If you analyze Krishna's form and the content that is there in His form, firstly, He's fully spiritual. His Chit Ghan, completely spiritual. And along with that, He is full of Ananda. Ananda Ghan, He is complete Ananda, full of Ananda. So there is no question of He becoming sad ever. Therefore, some things Lord cannot do, and one of them is this: He cannot become sad. He cannot become sad. He is full of Ananda. Always He is full of Ananda. Ananda Ghan. And in this world, whatever happiness we hear about anywhere, the source of that is Krishna. Therefore, Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa is glorified as Sukha Rupa, Sukha Adhara. His Rupa is Sukha, full of Ananda, and His Sukha Adhara. So whatever happiness we see in this world, He is the Adhar for that. He is the source for that. Like sugar is sweet. And when sugar is added in some item, that makes the other item also sweet. So this is what happens when someone comes in touch with Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa. A very, very important thing. Therefore, very nicely in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Krishna Himself is glorifying Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam. Then, Pavitram idam uttamam, pratyekshvavagamam dharmyam, sva-sukham kartum avyayam. The process that devotional service is all about is sva-sukham kartum avyayam. Why? Why is it that when you practice devotional service, there is some happiness that is felt? Again, 2 asterisks, if you do it properly. Yes. Why? Because these are different ways in which we come in touch with Krishna. Chanting the holy names, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, deity worship, honoring prasadam, all of these different things. What are these? These are different forms of the Lord in which we come in touch with Him. And just by coming in touch with Him, the devotee becomes happy. The devotee feels that happiness. Therefore, we understand that He is Sukha Rupa, at the same time He is Sukha Adhara, and anyone who comes in touch with Him can actually become happy. And here, very nicely, very tactfully, this word is used, sva-sukha. Bhīṣmadeva is using this, sva-sukha. Now, next few lines is again a very nice philosophy that is put forward by Bhīṣmadeva. He says, kvacid vihartuṁ prakṛtim upeyuṣi yad-bhava-pravāhaḥ. Out of His own transcendental pleasure, what is Lord doing? Lord is descending in this world, or Lord is doing his creation pastime, creation Leela. What is that all about? So in his Purusha avatar as Karanodakshaya Vishnu, he is glancing on this Prakriti. It's a bit technical. So when this entire material world, consisting of all the elements, when it is not manifested, it is an unmanifested state. That's called as Pradhan. And Krishna glances at this Pradhan, and that Pradhan becomes Mahatattva. And this Mahatattva is a substance or is an entity where three modes of material nature have come into action. In Pradhan, three modes of material nature are not in action. But in Mahatattva, they are in action. So who is actually, giving rise to this Prakriti or manifesting this Prakriti? The Lord is doing that. So in this way we understand, Bhīṣmadeva is saying that Lord is doing this creation pastime in the form of his Purusha avatars. And he is glancing. And when he is glancing, what is happening? This entire world is getting created. So for Lord, it's just a plaything. Kvacid vibhātuṁ, kvacitat tirohitam. For him, he creates, he destroys. He creates, he destroys. It's a plaything for him. So in this way, we understand that material nature, which is taking care of all of us in various ways by giving us whatever we want when it comes to food, shelter, clothing. Who is giving? Material nature. Simple? Yes. And when a person wants to get into Maya, who is bringing the opposite gender closer? Material nature. So who is doing all these? Requirements are getting fulfilled. How? Material nature is fulfilling the requirements. But material nature is not independent. Maya dakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam hetunanena kauntaya jagat viparivartate. Krishna is saying, Maya dakshena prakriti. This entire world is working under my adhyaksha. Very important. So, whatever desires we have, Krishna sanctions that desire. Now we cannot say that, oh, I didn't have desire. I don't know how I came in front of that person. कुछ नहीं है. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Krishna knows what desire we have. Krishna manifests that desire through Prakriti, and Prakriti will send the best of the best, another Prakriti, not to spoil our Prakriti. Our devotional Prakriti, Bhakti Prakriti is gone. In the entire the first shloka, what is actually Bhīṣmadeva trying to do? Bhīṣmadeva is telling that you are that Param Tattva. You are that absolute truth. And I just surrender onto you. That's it, and nothing else. There was a personality called Madhusudan Saraswati. Now he was one of the followers of Shankara Sampradaya, Shankarites. Pakka Mayavadi, Vedantist. He'll argue with people like anything. He'll defeat people in the arguments. He's a very scholarly person. Very scholarly person. And for them, Brahma Satya Jagan Mithya. Everything is only Brahman. You are Brahman, I am Brahman, everyone is Brahman, everything is Brahman. But unfortunately, he went to Vrindavan, where his entire life changed. He went to Vrindavan, and then when he was just crossing by a temple, the temple's name is Baki Bihari, a devotee came out of the temple, and then he saw, oh, Madhusudan Saraswati is here. So at that time, he went to Madhusudan Saraswati, and then he started talking to him. And he said, I have heard that you are a great Pandit. You argue with people, you defeat people in all the debate. Is it? Madhusudan Saraswati, yeah, I do that. And then he asked another question. So you feel happy when you do that? And Madhusudan Saraswati might be smiling at that time. And then this devotee, a simple devotee, made a very strong, bold statement. He said, you are Brahman, and the person whom you are debating with, he is also Brahman. So you are Brahman debating with Brahman, and still you are feeling happiness? Something is wrong. Don't you think so? At that time, all the screws which were loose became tightened. Correct? What am I doing? I'm deriving pleasure by defeating Brahman. His entire existence was put in place. And then he comes back. Now in Vrindavan, he became a pakka, fixed up devotee chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. He was chanting Hare Krishna. When he came back, he had many disciples, all Mayavadis. And when he came back chanting holy names of the Lord, crying in ecstasy, all the disciples felt, screw, dila. They were not knowing it eye to eye. But when he came back and when they saw his entire existence completely changed, they started asking, what's wrong? What's wrong with you? And all of them, they called for a sabha to ask him what has exactly happened. And then they asked a question, tell us what is the param tattva. And Madhusudan Saraswati, he quotes a very beautiful shloka. Please repeat, everyone. Vamshi vibhūṣita karat Navanīradābhāt Pītāmbarat arunabimba Faladharosthat Purnendu sundaramukhat Aravinda netra Krishnat param kimapi Tattvam aham na jane. So the question that was asked is, what is param tattva? And he's saying, Krishnat param kimapi tattvam aham na jane. Krishna is that param tattva, and apart from that, I don't know any other tattva. Now the Mayavadi disciples who were there, they might be thinking, oh, you're talking about Brahman, right? You're talking about Para-Brahman basically. But he says, Para-Brahman. But what sort of Para-Brahman? Vamshi vibhūṣita karat. That personality holds Vamshi in his hands. Vamshi bhūṣita karat. Navanīradābhāt. And how is his complexion? His complexion is that of a rain-filled monsoon cloud. Srila Madhavendra Puri, the spiritual master of Ishvara Puri, who was the spiritual master of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he would see the rain-filled cloud in the sky, the only thing that he would do is cry, cry, cry. Because that rain-filled cloud, when we see rain-filled cloud, only thing that we remember is umbrella. But when he used to see rain-filled cloud, he would remember Krishna. And remembering Krishna, he would cry and roll in ecstasy. This is called as Thavara Jangama Dekhena Dekhe Tara Murti. Sarvatra Nijo Hai Ishtadeva Spurti. Looking at monsoon cloud, look at this personality, Madhusudan Saraswati, Madhavendra Puri. What was he doing? He was remembering Krishna and he was crying in ecstasy. So Navanīradābhāt. Anything more? And then he is saying Pītāmbarat. He wears Pītāmbara Vastra, yellow dhoti. Aruna Bimba Phala, the Roshtad. That is something which we have been singing also every day. Yes. What is that line? Yes. Mohus Chumbitam Bimba Raktadharam. So you hear all the same thing. That his lips are reddish like Bimba fruit. And then Purnendu Sundara Mukhat. And his face is like beautiful moon. And in that moon, there are two lotus petals. And what is that? Aravinda Netrat. And these are the lotus petals. Beautiful lotus petal like eyes. So in this way, Madhusudan Saraswati, he told all his disciples that Krishnat param kimapi tattvam aham na jani. Krishna is that param tattva. Apart from him, I don't know any other tattva. So in this way, we see that Bhīṣmadeva also has the same mode. Krishnat param kimapi tattvam aham na jani. I don't know any other param tattva. I don't know any other tattva apart from Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa. And he is that satyam param, which Vyasadeva is also speaking about in the first shloka or the first canto, in the first chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Satyam Param. This is the word that he uses. Satyam Param. Therefore, in this way, Bhīṣmadeva, he is offering his entire existence, his entire chitta, his entire mati to this Param Tattva. But now there might be a question that, oh Bhīṣmadeva, which is that favorite Leela of yours where your mind is completely captured? See, every devotee will be attracted to some form of the Lord. And that form captures the devotee's entire existence. So if we ask this question to Bhīṣmadeva, so what is that mati? What is your mati thinking about? What is that thinking, feeling, willing that is there in your mati? Then he chants the next shloka. Tribhuvana kamanam tamala varnam Ravikara Gauravara Ambara Dadhane Vapur Alaka Kulavrata Nanababjam Vijaya Sakheratirastu me navedya. So here he is saying Tribhuvana Kamanam Tamala Varnam. Now he is describing which personality or which form of the Lord is there in his mati. The last line it says Vijaya Sakhe Ratir Astu me na Vadya. So he is saying Vijaya Sakhe Ratir Anavadya Astu me. Now who is this Vijaya Sakhe? We're talking about Dhananjay. We're talking about Krishna. That personality is friend of Arjun. Who is that? Krishna. That personality, I want rati towards that personality. Or my mind, my entire attraction is towards this personality, who is Vijaya Sakhe. Now, when he's talking about all these different things, he gave a gift also to Krishna. He gave his own mind, to Krishna. So we might ask him that, what do you want? Kuch to chahiye hoga. You're doing so much. You're offering your entire existence to me. What do you want? And here it is said, Anavadya. He's saying that I don't have any material desire. I just want this attraction. Attraction to whom? Arjuna's friend, Krishna. He's very clear about the form. That's what even Satyavrat Muni is saying. Varam deva moksham na moksham vadinva na chanam vrineham varishadapiha. So what do you want? You don't want any vara. What do you want? Idam te vapurnatha gopala balam sadame manasya virashtam kimanye. Kimanye. If I get this form of yours, Lord, kimanye. What else would I need? And here he is also saying the same thing. He is saying that Vijaya Sakhe Ratir. I want attachment, I want attraction to whom? Vijaya Sakhe. That is Arjuna's friend Krishna. I am rati towards that. Anavadya. I don't want any other thing. I don't have any other material desire. This is what I want, O Lord. This is what is the thing. So which form are you talking about? Okay, Vijaya Sakhe, do you want to give more descriptions about this? He gives 4 features or describes 4 features of the Lord. The first one that he speaks about is Tribhuvana Kamanam. What do you mean by Tribhuvana Kamanam? So Tribhuvana, everyone understands. Tribhuvana, 3 planetary systems. So we have upper planetary system, lower planetary systems, and middle planetary systems. And we are stuck here in the middle planetary system. And here he says Tribhuvana Kamanam. And even Rukmini Devi, in her letter to Krishna, she says Tribhuvana Sundara. Oh Lord, you are the most beautiful one in all the planetary systems. Tribhuvana Kamanam, Kamanam basically here means the one desirous. So all the living entity are in love with or they desire association of this personality, Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa. Okay, kuch bhi. Atheistic people are not desiring. Mayavadis are not desiring. Or maybe we are also not desiring. Then how to understand this? Very simple. See, in this world, whatever attraction is there between 2 people, that attraction remains only till either of them leaves the body. Say a boy is in love with a girl, and that girl leaves the body. Now, dead body is there in front. Now, will that boy go and hug this dead body and he's like, oh, I'll keep this, I'll preserve this in my house and all that? Yes. If he goes to that place, the first thing that he'll do is, Shishi, mein kahan gaya tha? Snan karna hai. Sachail snan. With clothes, the person takes snan. Because it's contaminated completely. So, to be frank, people are not attracted to the bodies of this world. Seemingly, yes. Externally, it's bodies. But actually, people are attracted to the substance in the body, and that is the spirit soul. As soon as the spirit soul leaves, all that attraction that remains to that body is gone. Gone. Completely gone. And in this way, we see that how in this world, everyone is attracted to some or the other person. But he's actually not attracted to the person's body, but he's actually attracted to the person, that is spirit soul. And Krishna is very clear in 15th chapter, 7th shloka. Mamai vamsha jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha. So each and every living entity in this world is what? Is my part and parcel. So my part and parcel. So since we are Krishna's part and parcel, naturally when we are there in this body, we become attractive. Other person becomes attractive and we get attracted. So everyone is just desiring whom? Everyone is desiring actually Krishna and nothing else. Hence proved. Such a wonderful concept, isn't it? Such a wonderful philosophy that is there. So everyone actually loves only Krishna and nothing else in this world. That's the point that is there. There's one thing. Another thing is, in Prakat Leela of Krishna, when Lord was going around to different planets, when he killed Narakasur, he got a kundal of Diti. He retrieved the kundal, yes, of Aditi, not Diti, Aditi, mother of Indra. He went to Swargalok to give. So when he went there was a huge crowd just to receive Krishna, to take darshan of Krishna. And then he went down to Varuna to give his umbrella which was stolen by Narakasur. There also, so many people coming and receiving. When Krishna came to Hastinapur, Krishna came to Kurukshetra and other places, especially Hastinapur, it is described that when Krishna entered that place, all the terraces of the buildings were full. All the females were there on the terrace, full, and so many men on the ground taking darshan of Krishna. Tribhuvana Kamanam. Everyone desires to get association of Krishna. Everyone desires except us. Everyone desires except us. This is what I would say. Because unfortunately, we are so very dipped in darkness of ignorance that even when Shastras glorify so much, it becomes very difficult for us to understand and connect. What is that actually people desiring about? What is so great about this personality? The person who is there in the mirror is much better than this person. Yeah, that's the fact. How much people love themselves, you see. One person was saying, I don't love anyone. I just love myself. People are in love with themselves. But the fact is, we are actually desirous of this personality. The kamana that we have is Tribhuvana Sundara. That is Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa. But somehow, since we are there in this material world, stuck very badly, we are not able to understand this point. And this process of bhakti is going to help us like that. This process of bhakti is actually going to change our desire, modify our desire, replace our desire, and make us desirous of what? Association of Krishna. Tribhuvana Kamanam. Tamala Varnam, the second characteristic or second feature that he is describing. Now look at, or just think about the meditation of Bhīṣmadeva, how intense and how deep it is. He is now meditating on the complexion of the Lord, Tamala Varnam. So Tamal tree has got that darkish complexion, bluish blackish complexion. And it is described in Srimad Bhagavatam that Gopas and Gopis, especially Gopis, when they were not able to see Krishna and they're going mad in separation with Krishna, they'll go and embrace Tamal tree. Oh Krishna, where were you? They embrace Tamal tree. Now if we are present there, we'll say, Pagal ho gayi. Itna bhi samajh nahi aata hai. It's a tree. For them, that complexion was reminding about Krishna. And the only thing that they would do is go and embrace, oh Krishna, you are here, oh Krishna, you are here. Especially when Krishna left Sri Vrindavan Dham and went to Mathura, this was the pathetic situation of the gopis running around and embracing Tamal tree. Tamala Varnam. Ravi Kara Gaura Vara Ambara Dadhane. So Krishna, he wears very, very peculiar dress. He wears dhoti, obviously. But that dhoti is yellowish. And some brahmacharis also say, dhoti is saffron. So Krishna wears dhoti, yellowish dhoti. And I was hearing that how when Krishna wears dhoti, it's not just one style. Different styles in which Krishna wears dhoti. Sometimes he'll tuck his dhoti at one place, at another place. Yes. When we see devotees doing seva, you will see different styles of dhoti they wear. Yes. But when it comes to Krishna, he wears dhoti in such a way that that's very attractive. Very, very attractive. And sometimes dhoti would be just flying in the air. And this dhoti is enough to catch the attention of the devotees all around the creation. This glittering yellow dhoti that is there, that is enough. Therefore, the devotees in Braj, when they take darshan of the Lord, either they're stuck at the lotus feet or they're stuck at this yellowish glittering dhoti. They're stuck. And when we take darshan of the Lord, dekh liya. Oh yeah. We just look at one, yellow dhoti, pink dhoti, ye pehne the. That's it. So actually, when it comes to taking darshan of the Lord, we have to learn from these great souls how to take darshan of the Lord. They're absorbed looking at the lotus feet of the Lord. Oh, look at the toenails, so beautiful. Oh, look at the sole of the feet of the Lord, so pinkish and so soft. Oh, look at the tulasi manjari that is offered, not to the lotus feet of the Lord. Oh, look at the pile that is there at the feet of the Lord. Look at the fragrant flowers around the feet of the Lord. This is called as meditation. And Srila Prabhupada, in Nectar of Instruction, he writes this point. How to control the mind? By meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord. This is one of the points that Srila Prabhupada mentions. Savai manha Krishna padar vendayoho. By meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord, one can conquer the mind. Because the mind will be engaged in the service of the Lord, thinking about the lotus feet of the Lord. So this is an active endeavor that devotees put in. They meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord. And then they go up looking at the beautiful Tribhanga feature. The first thing that comes is this yellow dhoti. Glittering yellow dhoti. And this is what devotees are attracted to. And at times they are just stuck at that. They are not able to go beyond that. Waist, garland, the necklaces, his hands, his venu or his vamshi, his beautiful face. Oh, pahunch nahi paate uss tak. They are so engrossed in taking darshan of the Lord. May we also get this stage someday, where we are looking at the altar and the altar gets closed and we are completely disturbed. Arey yaar, main dekha hi nahi. How was Lord looking? How was his turban? How was his face? What garland was he wearing? I was stuck at his dhoti. I was stuck at his lotus feet. I don't know when. Maybe by Lord's mercy it will come. And finally, the fourth thing that he mentioned is Alaka Kula Avrata Anana Abjam. We will see this multiple times in different places. Krishna's hair is mentioned, Alaka. And how are this alak? They are curly. Very beautiful curly hair. And his face is a full-blown lotus flower. Now we cannot imagine like that. Okay, curly hair and a lotus is there in that. It will look very odd. But what you do in this material world, you don't have good comparison for Lord's beautiful features. So the most beautiful thing that is found is lotus, and lotus has got many characteristics. It remains in the muddy water but is untouched by the muddy water. Similarly, our Lord is there in this material world but is untouched by the three modes of material nature. So some similarities are there, so that comparison is done. So this is a fully blown lotus flower. And our acharyas describe this lotus flower is one more special because this is a night lotus. It's a Neela lotus which blossoms at night. In Damodar Ashtakam, when that description is given, idam te mukham bojam atyanta nilair. Vritam kunthalai snigdha. Vritam kunthalai, the hair is described. I don't know if you have seen those darshans of Krishna and Balaram. So they tie hair of Krishna and Balaram sometimes up. There is no turban. It's only hair, and then peacock feather is put, some ornaments are put on the hair, and then some hair is there left. So both of them, you will find that pics very beautiful. So some hair will be there on the face. Yes. So there, Sanatana Goswami in Digdarshani Tika, he is describing when Krishna is looking here and there, so his hair is also moving here and there, and it is looking like the bumblebees are going and sucking the nectar from the lotus face, from the lotus. So here we see very wonderfully that Bhīṣmadeva's meditation. See, Bhīṣmadeva is in Viryaras, but his meditation is so deep. He is not seeing Krishna with red eyes and he is very angry and ready to fight. No, what he is seeing is this. Yes. Therefore, Prabhupada says, why are you so dipped to understand Krishna's Rasa Leela with gopis? Try to understand Krishna's Rasa Leela with Bhīṣmadeva also. Is Krishna, he's just exchanging. What is Rasa Leela? Exchanging rasa, right? Here, see the rasa that is exchanged. Bhīṣmadeva is glorifying Krishna so beautifully and is going through different parts of the body. But now he comes to that rasa which actually he relishes a lot. Viryaras. And the shlokas after this, Bhīṣmadeva is going to glorify Krishna's Viryaras and how he's relishing that Viryaras. So we end here. So in the next few verses, we will see the Viryaras description by Bhīṣmadeva glorifying Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa. Thank you very much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki,